This feels low. Mm, mm, mm. Hey guys, this is Rama from our Stop Shop. Happy Money Monday. Okay, so today's live, if you are on our email list, you know exactly what today's live is about. Or if you read our post maybe like 2 hours ago, you know exactly what our live is about. Today, we will be doing an interactive live where we will help you monetize any idea, product, service, um, concept, something that's still in the works. We'll give you some concrete strategies to be able to monetize it immediately. It can be something that you're still just thinking through, or it can be something that you're already executing. It can even be something you're already utilizing. We'll give you an alternative way to be able to monetize whatever it is, and execute utilizing the information we share immediately. So the way this live will work, in the event you would like to engage verbally, you can do one of several things. You can request to join the live based on whatever social media platform you are currently on, because all of them, I believe, for to some extent, has the ability to allow for you to join in the live. Or you can go to Clubhouse. The link is in our bio, and you can join just audio only there. So today's live is how long it is going to be. That's why Thomas isn't here. How long it's going to be is going to be based off of how many people in our community want to build, want to take this advantage, and opportunity to tap into some free resources and information that we have to offer, as well as figure out how to elevate whatever you guys already have in mind or whatever you desire to do. So, yeah, don't be shy. Feel free to post your idea, your thought, your product, service, whatever. It doesn't have to be a tangible thing. It can literally be some education or information you possess as well. Feel free to either post it in the comments if you have no desire to like really have a verbal engagement about it, or you can request to join the live on whatever platform you're on. I'll pull you in. We'll talk through it, um, and I'll answer any all questions that comes up tonight. And this live will be done when we are done with people. So yeah, happy Money Monday, everybody. Let's get it cracking. It's a great day to progress in wealth together. Um, so I'm really excited. We did one last night. And just to explain how this live came to be, this weekend we were engaging with a lot of our small Black businesses. Um, and there were a lot of triggers for me personally. I just seen so many ways they really had the ability to just scale progress and resources they could utilize. And we realized really impromptu on our way back from like our fourth event yesterday. And we had a couple of people on that live. Is saved on Facebook or Instagram. And so today we're extending it to the whole community with the ability to proactively kind of plan out what they want to talk about, what they want to engage with, so forth, so forth. So yeah, we're gonna go until either the devices start to die or until people stop asking. Whatever happens first. So yeah, if anybody has an idea, if you have, and it is not restricted to a specific thing. It can be a product, it can be a service, it can be a talent or a skill set you can possess. I mean, you currently possess. It could be something you're already in doing in business and you're trying to figure out how to be able to monetize it differently or in additional ways. It can even just be something that you're still kind of working through. It's an idea you're still kind of working through, and you can use somebody to build or really scale it off of. We live by a motto within our company and our family where it's like iron sharpens iron. Sometimes you just need a sounding board that can help you evolve whatever it is you're thinking through. Okay, so we got our first person, it looks like, on Instagram. Believe it or not, hopefully I did that right, so she should be pulling up if I did it right. If not, Oh, okay, there it is. I think I did it right that time. It's a learning experience. Okay, yep. She was like a deer in headlights. So yeah, if y'all have any, and in the event you are camera shy, feel free to post whatever your thing is in the comments. Um, I'm still today, so I can read them and I can answer them in real time as well. But yeah, that's what's popping off today. Well, let me make sure I don't leave my clubhouse family out. So yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. And welcome everybody who's never attended one of our Money Monday lives. Money Monday lives are just dedicated to being able to equip you guys with some resources, some information, some strategies, some conventional or more unconventional methods or information you can utilize to continue to build. And so it's just some ways to be able to build on whatever desires, goals, dreams you have, to be able to start to progress and further catapult whatever your personal goals are in life, whether it's financial, environmental, whatever. Awesome. So believe it or not, I got it. So apparently, believe it or not, did not mean to come live. And she was like shell shocked. So Shop Pop said, I'm a real estate agent and enjoy providing informative sessions about the process to ownership. And then Patricia said, hello. So, Shop Pop, are you hoping to, are you trying to figure out ways to monetize that? Because I can think of a number of ways to monetize that, especially within the Black community alone. Um, or are you just sharing the fact that, like, you're trying to be a resource for the community? So, yeah, clarify a little bit so I can figure out if I need to just like let you put your plug in real quick, or if I need to help you figure out how to really take advantage of the information you currently possess. And yeah, and if anybody else has comments or questions, feel free to post them in the comments. Feel free to request to join the live on Facebook or Instagram, or have your mic turned on Clubhouse. And on YouTube, you can post it in the comments, or you can hop on Facebook or Instagram or Clubhouse. Because I believe that it does not allow you to do a joint live on home ownership. Okay, so I feel like you could be a resource in a lot of ways. So there are a number of it's a number of ways you can easily monetize that, right? There are a number of states that are rolling out um, mandatory real estate licenses just to be a property manager. There are also certain real estate contracts that you cannot have without a real estate agent involved. And then Thomas, what was that thing that you were talking about as it related to real estate agents specifically? Something that you were talking about monetizing without it actually requiring selling real estate. Oh, he's in his zone. Sorry. I didn't realize he was like he really zoned us out. So another way that I will also recommend doing it is people constantly want to be like the desire to become a real estate investor is like starting to get serious. But a lot of people don't know what they don't know, right? So having informational resources, one of the things we seen a girl do that I think was like dynamite was teaching people how to pass the real estate license exam, right? There are very limited resources. It's almost monopolized by automated systems, but people value one, the perspective from somebody who's successfully done it. Also, people value, ooh, Shola's in here. Awesome. So people also value the ability for Shola. Actually, you're perfect for this. Turn your mic on. So I have a real estate agent in the yeah, I can hear you. So I have a real estate agent in the Facebook Live with us right now, and she said she is a real estate agent. Shola is also a real estate agent, by the way, you guys. Y'all have never crossed paths with him, but he's in a Clubhouse Live right now. She said, I'm a real estate agent and enjoy providing informative sessions about the process to home ownership. And so tonight, what we're doing is we're giving people alternative ways they can monetize their skills or their talents, or the things they already have going on in their business. And so what would be a great way for her to monetize that she already does, as well as build clientele?
monetize being in real estate without actually selling houses.
Yes.
I would definitely tell her to learn other aspects. So everybody's goal is the American dream, picket fight, picket fence. Everybody doesn't know how to reach that. The number one fear of a lot of people to getting homes is, having that responsibility. So what I do, I don't concentrate on selling houses. I concentrate on getting people ready to sell houses. So just depending on what type of firm she's in, um, what type of real estate brokerage she's with. My real estate brokerage, Keller Williams, they have a event space. So the agents, we can throw, you know, um, events such as, what I do is I throw real estate um, beginners classes. So like a step for people to get into the home. So when they come, I clean their credit, and our event space holds about 200 people. So if I'm doing something like $25 a head to get into this event space, and I'm doing two a Saturday, you know, um, for 4 Saturdays out the month, sometimes you really don't need to be, your actual license. And then when the people get in that space where they can buy homes, guess who they're coming to? The person who cleaned up their credit and the person who put them on the right track, or they're gonna release refer somebody to you. So there's other ways to make money in real estate other than just begging to, sell a home. There's also another great thing. If you're able to, and it's really dirt cheap, you can become a notary. What's this shit called, Rama?
A notary? A notary public?
Yeah, you can become a notary public, but also when you do closings, a notary got to be there to make sure everybody's signing on the correct thing. Those agents make the notary agents. A good one makes at least 5-10 thousand a week if you're on your shit, and it's so minimal to start. You wouldn't be as a real estate agent. You wouldn't actually be able to close your own, you know,
Deals.
sales
Yeah.
because there'll be a conflict of interest. But
You
you
can be
can
the
close
go-to
everybody
for
else's
real estate
sales.
agents. Yeah.
Huh?
I said you could, while you couldn't do it for your own, you could be the go-to for other real estate agents.
Right.
So,
And they also have an app that will actually send you to other closers. And it's about 150 a closing. You get about 150. The lowest might be like $75 a closing. So if you're closing 15, 20 houses a week, which is very doable if you live in like I live in the DC area. That's nothing, you know. So it's just different ways. People say real estate and just, have a one track mind, think that you have to sell houses. No, you really don't.
exactly. And that's how I started it. But I'm so glad you got on here. So she says she one
I
of the things.
just got to New York. I just got to New York and I looked at my phone and I said, okay.
Yeah. So let me tell you, she also said I'm also a dual agent. So that means you're a buyer agent and a seller agent. You have the capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then that's a game changer. I
I
mean,
think,
if you're
I think,
personable enough and you know how to negotiate enough, I feel like you could easily take on both clients. But I think being a real estate agent to sell or buy real estate, like to just get people to sell their real estate or buy real estate, I feel like that's like the least beneficial role you can take with that license.
yeah,
It's
and it's relatively easy. Um, Meaning like basically once you get somebody, you ever besides showing them what houses they want, explaining most basic shit to them. Everything really falls on whoever the loan agent is.
exactly.
Um, but I tend to notice in the real estate market. Well, one thing about me is I don't tap dance. I'm not gonna tap dance. I'm At times I can be extremely vulgar. I'm not gonna put on a different face. You know me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put a different face. I'm not gonna be one of those agents that's gonna pretend. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, hey, look, boom, I'm gonna keep a gutter with you. I come from nothing. I'm not gonna put on a so. I'm not gonna put on a facade. I'm always gonna stay real and authentic. And sometimes real estate agents tend to,
Code
they don't
switch.
really be themselves. A
Yeah.
lot of them put on a facade. You know, a lot of them will have a they'll make a Facebook page or IG page, and it's just not really them. They're not really authentic because they feel as though you have to look this way. You know, somebody done told them that you have to have this type of look. You know, and I'm far
Good
from
evening.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, um, people tend to look at that. Some people might be like, "Oh man, he doesn't look. Oh, he's dark skin. He got long hair. He got tattoos. You know, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing." But I give him a plethora of knowledge, and you know, I inform them. And one thing about real estate, um, a lot of people go off looks. So if you don't look the part, you're gonna lose clientele. I know sometimes I know I lose clientele because I don't look the part.
Yeah.
And
But I feel like
you
you
know
reach a
that's
demographic that a lot of real estate agents deter because
yeah, yeah.
they keep
You
up
know
this
me. I
appearance.
don't care because I'm trying to reach my people. Sorry to cut you off. I don't care. I'm trying to reach my people. So I'm trying to reach the ones in the streets, the ones, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, man, I did it. You could do it. And you'll be surprised how many agents look the part, but they're dumb as a brick. Like just like in Keller Williams, DC, we had this one girl. She was closing $1 million homes, and she looked the part, but she didn't know contracts, and she screwed up a contract. One thing about real estate, everything is really predicated on those contracts. So she ended up costing Keller Williams millions of dollars because she looked the part. She just thought it was all glitz and glam and go to open house. She didn't know contracts, and she cost Keller Williams like about, man, I want to say like $2-3 million, and they fired her. You know,
That's
so
crazy.
yeah. So concentrate on knowing like the game. People don't know the game of real estate. And if you look at a lot of I with the knowledge I gave her, she doesn't even have to actually sell home. I don't need to sell home.
Facts.
I can
Now,
make
she
money
says
off
she has a
seminars.
dual career. So I want to know, what is the other career? Because they might go hand in hand. I feel like the credit, even for us, I feel like the credit goes hand in hand with so many other things that we allow for us to leverage. Like we leverage credit to even start events. We leverage credit to be able to get into new industries, be able to
I
offer new
mean,
services. So I'm always curious. What other things are going, even the staffing agency, that played off of the events for corporate clients, and now it's working in our favor to be able to do our events at higher scale quicker, because we already know all the moving pieces to be able to pull people in and out as needed without it being like $1 million negotiation, or you got to put multiple people's salaries factored in. She works in community development. So she's in real estate as a real estate agent full time, but she also works in community development. And I feel like those go hand in hand. Like I feel like those really go hand in hand in a lot of significant ways, and it gives you access to even resources to really work towards what you want to be. Because she said she's also interested in being able to help with credit. I feel like all those moving pieces kind of.
I mean, well, I take it being as though she's a real estate agent, she probably wants more in life. She's probably on the bag chasing. And first thing that's chasing his bag is credit. Credit is the foundation to everything. Look, I'm a felon. I'm not supposed to be where I'm at. I wouldn't have got where I'm at if it wasn't for credit. You know what I'm saying? And
Facts.
once you learn that aspect, it's like it's easy to get a bag. It's once you learn credit, it is so easy to get a bag. It's we live in the information age. It's literally a way to get out of poverty if you want the information.
I completely
And
agree.
as far as I'm sorry to cut you off. As far as credit, people need to learn it because they're gonna. One thing about these crackers, man. Once they know black people know something, oh, they're gonna change the laws, the fair credit reporting laws. Oh, they're gonna change them. Give it another couple of years, Mama. I get you. I guarantee you, the credit game is gonna be completely different because they're going to change it. You know what I'm saying? it's too many black people with access to that knowledge, and credit can definitely level the playing field. So
in a major
they're
way.
gonna change the credit law. So
Like, I completely agree. So yeah, all
you
right.
you can you could. I'm sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say you could literally work in McDonald's and in 2 3 years be rich enough to, you know what I'm saying, retire just for fucking credit. And you know, if you learn it and know where to what to what debts to incur, you know, what to buy with your credit, you know, you could definitely retire.
I completely agree. I feel like it's a lever. It's definitely a leverager, like hands down. If you use credit as a tool, like it can really put you at a different phase in life and quick, and you don't have to constantly be dependent on working your way up in an earned income to get to a
Right.
place where you finally feel like you can aspire for certain stuff. Like for us, we do a lot now that we understand how credit works. We do a lot of stuff leveraging it. We do a lot of we're even getting very intentional about like as we even tap into personal credit, we're learning to be very intentional about even hiding our utilization so we can constantly build without the little nuances holding us back in significant ways. So yeah, I'm ready for the next person to bring in their questions. Like we're just anything. You can have an idea. You can have. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you a prime example. We were sitting at the top for people to know where bathrooms are, right? And I was like, that is a genius idea. Like
Some said that.
real life, she it was a genius idea. Now I'm gonna tell what my responses were before I full circle that story. But Sam said we should start an app that lets you know where the bathrooms are. And facts of the matter is, CIAA left North Carolina because they refused to have the gender neutral bathrooms. That's why CIAA got pulled to Baltimore, right? But it's a lot of other things. Like me as a when Sam was small, like when I stayed with a diaper bag, I also had like a mobile potty seat that you could put on any like regular toilet, right? Because a lot of places didn't have changing tables, and a lot of places didn't really factor in like toddlers, right? And so just having something that can tell you where the family bathrooms are, where the bathrooms you could use without being a paying customer, have people be able to rate the cleanliness of bathrooms. Like that's a game changer. Mind you, Psalm. So when Psalm first said it, she really said it like it was like an organic thought, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, we could definitely monopolize on this." But it turns out she stole it from a TV show, and so like
That's
she
good too. That's good too. Ain't nothing
but
wrong with
I'm
that.
just like it's just so many ways to monetize, like trust and believe. And I wouldn't even monetize off of the taller information. I monetize off of the proximity they are to big corporations that just want to get their brand in people's faces.
So hold on. What is the topic today? Because you know
So
something.
the topic today,
Um,
um,
is a strategy to use to monetize right now.
yes, like based on whatever it is,
Okay,
it could be you could have an idea,
so
you could
hold on,
have a
time out,
product,
time out,
service,
time out,
whatever.
time out.
Hmm.
Let me understand the subject. Hold on. So you have me on speakerphone on Facebook?
I mean, all the lives are on. So, can y'all hear Shola on the lives on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube? If y'all can hear
I
Shola,
got a
put put a
Can y'all
one.
hear me clearly? Because I'm gonna give you something that you can monetize in less than 2 fucking weeks. Right the fuck now.
Put
So
a one
everybody,
in the chat on whatever live you're on if you can hear the audio from Clubhouse. Put a one in the chat real quick. If you can hear the audio, Shola, you gotta talk so they can hear you. Put a
I'm trying
one.
to make sure they hear. Can y'all hear? I'm gonna give you a something to
Uh,
monetize right the fuck now that we can do in
so
two fucking.
so
We can do it
Facebook
in less
can
than a
hear
fucking
you,
week.
but Instagram can't hear you. I don't know. I don't know how to handle that. What about you on YouTube? Can y'all hear the audio from Clubhouse? Cause it's sitting in between all of y'all. Facebook can hear
Can
you.
they hear? Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear?
So
Can they hear? Are they? Are they?
okay,
Are they
so
responsible?
YouTube can hear you as well. So I don't know what's going on with Instagram, but we're also on live on YouTube and on
All right,
Facebook.
fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. I will make a video for Instagram. So look, listen up. I went on vacation the other day. I went to Cali. Um, just to take a little break. I use the Airbnb app. Normally, I go to Cali for some other shit. In a different life, I would have gone to Cali on some other shit. But I went to this time. Me and my friends, we had a brocation. I go on the Airbnb app. I literally was looking for. If you download the Airbnb app, they have what's called experiences. So I'm just man picking shit to do. I pick surfing. I pick somebody to show me where all the dope spots in fucking LA were. The picture spots, right? And so anyhow, I go on this. I paid him like $70. I go meet him where he told me to meet him, and it was about 10 of us. And he would take us to stupid ass spots like Runyon Canyon and some Melrose Place and fucking Rodeo Drive. And I'm looking, I'm like, dog, it's 10 of us, and everybody paid $70. He's made $700 just for 2 hours worth of work. So I'm like, oh, because I'm a numbers guy. I'm always crunching numbers, like, oh.
Yep.
And it was a shitty ass tour. I really wanted to slap the shit out of him. Like, yeah, that's a whole nother story. So look, go on the Airbnb app, guys. First of all, whatever city you live in, I don't care where you are at. You could be in the DC area, you could be down south in Florida, you could be on the West Coast. Somebody's always gonna come to your city. Find out all the dope spots in your city. Find out um, where all the art murals are, if you're into art, or where
Facts.
the historic places are, and come up with a fucking tour. And you can set whatever your price is. You could be, for instance, let's say you live in Atlanta, and and somebody wants to come to Atlanta, you could literally charge them 50, $60, $100. Some people's experiences are like $100 just to take them to all the dope spots. You could take them to the Trap Museum. You could take them to Big Boy got their murals. You could take them to all these dope spots. Same thing in Florida, and just take their pictures. The guy literally took us to spots that I could have fucking Googled. I was just being fucking lazy, and took our pictures with his phone, fucking iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Only reason I wanted to take the experience was because basically my goal was to find out where all these spots was and take my friends to them later on. And the guy, he does like 2, 3 tours a day, and he had 10 people on my tour, and let's just say he averages fucking 5 to 10 people just for showing people around town in his area.
Making
He knew
grands.
his area well enough to charge people to do that. And if you download the Airbnb experience, you don't even have to do that. Whatever, let's say you're a creator, you can set up something where people paint in the park. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
There's
And
one
and
where they literally tell you to bring your own like scooter or something, or rent them from the city, and they just ride
oh
you
yeah,
around to little random stuff. Like it
that's I'm sorry to cut you off. That's another one I did too. I took these bold bikes down in the beach. So the bikes were like light up bikes. They was like raggedy ass bikes, but the person had put some like neon lights so the bikes lit up in the dark, and it was just a parade of lit up bikes. You know what I'm saying? And I think he charged me like fucking $80 to fucking do that, right? In DC, there's somebody who charges people $50 to jog to all the monuments.
like
$50 to jog to
to
all the
jog.
monuments.
Like so you're literally
To
exerting
jog
all
to
of your
all the fucking
energy. So
monuments.
it's just like not
All
to
I'm
be
doing
alone.
is,
So he's ultimately
man, that's
monetizing the fact
insane.
that people don't want to do stuff by themselves. Right? Bandwagon
Look,
culture. That's ultimately.
and it's not even so much as that is I'm in a new city. I want to know what's going on, So it's it's monumental the way people are making money nowadays. That you really don't have to work. You could literally do 3 experiences a weekend and be done with it.
And make like enough to live, not survive, live. Um, if we're adding to that,
No,
I'm
no, no. You can make more. Cause think about it. If this guy, look, he charged me. I thought his somebody I knew in Cali. If he's doing three tours a day, and he's averaging $700. Let's say worst case scenario, he's out averaging 500. Because he might have six people here and there. And if he's doing three tours, he's averaging $1,500 a day.
Yeah.
That what clock does that person need to punch? Whatever job does that person need to get? You know what I'm saying?
And even if he
And
just does
if
that
you're
on
not a
weekends,
hospitable person, if you're not a hospitable person, I definitely would have suggested. But if you got great customer service and you know how to talk to people and handle
they have
stuff,
another one too to piggyback off of what Shola's talking about, which is the monetization of information. You're not even monetizing a thing. Like in his situation, all right, he actually, I'm assuming he drove too. So he monetized his vehicle outside of ride sharing or renting the vehicle, right? But he also monetized just information. He knew that these were places that
right?
everybody wants to go. So he conveniently
Mm-hmm.
streamlined accessibility for you. But it's like, I want to say one of the first things we came across in Florida, my family just wasn't with it. I was with it, but everybody else wasn't. Was like a scavenger hunt. It was a self-led scavenger hunt from an app, and like you literally paid to be one of the participants in this scavenger hunt on your own. But it's so many ways to just monetize what you know and streamline it at this point. It's so many ways to record something real quick, toss it up, and just constantly revert, allow for people to pay to access the same info. Now granted, it's going to be some people like Shola where they pay one time to expose it, and our whole circle is like that, to be honest, where they pay one time to access it for the whole community. But it's about monetizing what you already know. You think the information you know is like worthless, but people like me and Shola, we pay a lot of money for information because we never know what we
Tell them,
don't know.
man.
Like,
Hey, look, yeah. I'm not. I kicks out that. I kicks out that money. If somebody got some information, and don't get me wrong, there are people who I be like, God damn, mom, he scammed me. He got me for my money. But I already know that I got this. I got that little bit of information. Don't worry. I'm gonna turn around and monetize it. Like for instance, I'm really big on trucking, and you know, and I paid. I don't even want to say their name. I don't want to bad mouth them because they're another black business. But I paid $500 for somebody's trucking program. And I watched it, and I swear to God, after I finished watching it, I wanted to throw my phone up against the wall because I'm like, God damn, this son of a bitch just got me for $500, right?
for
Um,
almost nothing.
because it was just the information was just so weak, you couldn't really do nothing with it. But he got me for $500. I could have spat out that same bullshit he spat, but I charged it to the game. But I did learn something. I learned something. Even not what even it may not be what they are actually teaching, but I learned something like that. Okay, he got me $500. I paid $500 for this trucking estate bullshit, and he got me for my money. But I learned from it. Like, okay, I know when I do monetize my information on trucking that I'm gonna
It's
include way more than this bullshit,
exactly.
and I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you a long one, dude, because I'm gonna make my shit 250 just so the people can get the information. I'm gonna push you out of business, and that is just fucking swindling me out of my fucking money. For real, that's
Yeah.
like
No, I
I'm gonna
completely
get your
agree.
ass back.
I feel like that's why we have such a hard, like, just us overall is our stop shop. I feel like a lot of people don't realize, like, we possess hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of information at this point between our team. And it's like we execute on it differently. But because we understood how much it took for us to reach the point where we had access to the information, we're very, very intentional about not having other people have to struggle so much they can execute on and see.
Truth be told, I'm sorry, Ron,
No,
because
you're good.
go on, finish.
Oh, I was just gonna
Okay,
say and
truth be
see
told,
tangible results. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
truth be told, I would love to give this shit away because I feel like our people need this information. The more the more of us get this information implemented, the more we can build this generational wealth. I feel like it's so many different ways to fix a problem. Just like if I was to say, Rama, take this motherfucking cup across the room. million ways you could do it. You could place it on your head and walk across the room. You could dog. It's so many ways, and I use that analogy as a example of so many problems that plague Black America, such as violence. I don't want to say black on black violence because that's all proximity crime. Um, but I feel as though if everybody gets some money, a lot of bullshit will stop. You know what I'm saying? Because once you start touching some serious money, it's like I don't really need to shoot this guy. For real, that's how man. Look, I'm seeing a little bit of some money now, so it's like ah
Like the things outside of your
fuck it, I'm
control
going.
start to limit and it starts not to have the same impact on you. So I'm gonna let somebody else go.
Right.
Um I'm not gonna say people don't value free information. I'm gonna say that ignorance allows for people to not understand how valuable or how impactful this new information can be on their lives, right? Like
So say that again, Rama.
I don't think that it's people don't value free information. I think that's propaganda too. I really think it's a situation where people don't realize how impactful information can be to their lives if they execute on it, even if it's given. You get what I'm saying? Like, remember when I was single? Okay, I was single a couple of years ago. When I was single, I was in these dating app streets. Okay, I was on Soul Swipe, I was on Tinder, I was on everything, and I dated like very, very fluidly. There was no age restriction. There were no all different types of black, like all different types of black people from all different types of backgrounds. And remember, one of the guys that I met, Shola, was a dude who he had like a criminal record, but he had a white collar criminal record behind some stuff connected to business credit. Now, at that time, I had told him about a company I had just this like assembled and had established a second one. Now he was like, "Oh, he was like that first company." He was like, "Man, you should have just held on to that, even if you wasn't doing that with it." He was like, "I could have easily got you 100,000." I didn't know what I didn't know when he made that
Right.
statement. You get what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
just the age of the company alone is value. Like, I didn't know what I didn't know,
Yeah.
so it was like
Uh-huh.
even if he
The
said,
age of that LLC.
yeah. So it's like just to have been given that information, but also given instructions. In that moment, he just kind of said it in passing, and then we ain't crossed paths again. So it was like it was it was a it was a missed opportunity to tap into so much more. You get what I'm saying?
So
Meanwhile,
guys, right. So guys, if you don't understand what she's saying, there's two different types of credit. You got personal credit, you got business credit. Business credit is a whole another arena. I mean, for instance, you guys, a lot of people be like, "Oh, Trump is a bad businessman." No, he is not. He's fucking exceptionally smart. With business credit, nothing is in your name. So let's say I got a company. We're gonna say I got a company, B company, and so I got business credit. Let's say I have $100,000 in business credit, and I'm like, oh, B company, I feel like my business needs two nice new brand new Lexuses, so I'm gonna spend 100,000 of business credit on these brand new Lexuses. So let's say I buy these brand new Lexuses, and the following month I'm like, well, I feel like B company don't need these Lexuses. I'm gonna sell them to Brahma for $3,000 a piece. I done sold my cousin some brand new Lexuses for $3,000 a piece. Nothing is wrong with that. It just means I'm a shitty business person. Now I could bankrupt that company, and I would just the
rinse and
credit is
repeat.
tied to that company.
Exactly.
So it's trust and believe. This is a game these white people play. And, you just with business credit, just if you work it, man,
You could be a
you
millionaire
see these
without
credit
ever
cards.
actually earning money.
Yeah, you see 6 figure credit cards. Even if you learn it and use it for the wrong shit, like Donald Trump and them, it's a whole different arena. It's a whole different
Exactly.
arena.
I think that's one of the things that I double back to a lot when we're having these conversations about credit more than anything else. Like our community doesn't know what they don't know, right? And so like everybody dragged Donald Trump about being like 6-time bankrupt. yet wealthy or rich. And I'm like, this is how you know they conditioned us a little bit differently, because instead of being like this man bankrupt 6 times, instead of like dragging him for it, my question would be how. We know so many people who
Right.
whole lives crumbled because they got evicted one time, or they had one car repossessed, or something, something really minute in the bigger scheme of life. And for this man to be able to bankrupt 6 times and still have a 7 or 8 figure financial portfolio, ain't nobody is even been like triggered to ask the questions
Yeah,
to figure out like
that come from you know what people show you. You know, like, oh, okay, uh, he's a bad business person. Yeah, all right, you think that.
exactly.
You know
So
how many millions of dollars in credit that company probably those companies bankrupt used.
facts.
You probably just established those companies to bankrupt them.
And that's what I'm
To
saying.
bankrupt these
Strategy,
companies.
strategy, strategy, strategy. So if it's anybody on here, I'm gonna let somebody else try to add their 2 cents in the event they got it before you go, because nobody ever gets to meet you, Shola. They probably think you was a figment or a Photoshop. So if anybody has
Hey,
like a,
I look, I'm gonna definitely start making videos, man. I just be ripping running. Can I go on Facebook and watch you right quick?
yeah, you can join in on
Or
Facebook too.
will
You
it
can
cut off
literally
from
join the
Clubhouse?
Facebook live.
Ah, man, because you know that everybody gonna be chasing me down. They gonna have all these females in there asking me about non-monetizing shit, and I don't feel like going through all of that.
You are so annoying. Okay, so for y'all that don't know, me and
What you
Shola are
mean?
cousins,
Okay, on.
and our birthdays are day apart, so we are very much so the same person. I just have a better personality some days. Um but yeah, so he is the only one on our team that is out of the DMV area. So y'all really don't get to see him as much on lives. Even right now he's in New York. During this. So I was able to get him in on Clubhouse because it's audio only. But but yeah, y'all, the conversations that I am the face of the company with y'all for are the conversations that we have in the back end frequently and abundantly, and it's what allows for us to execute at supernatural speed despite all odds, and allows for us to get in the spaces where it's like we shouldn't even been made aware that they existed. Better yet, invited into the room, and that's the truth.
So, Mom, what? Hold on. What Facebook are you on?
I'm on the Our Stop Shop page.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a couple of people in there.
Okay.
So if you join that one, um, if you join that one,
Oh,
that'll be
yeah.
a good one for
Oh,
you to join.
nah, nah. I told you if I join, it's gonna be in my messenger. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I
I
don't
don't
feel
think
like
people
doing
are
that.
gonna care that much, Shola. They know what they here for tonight.
I'm a,
Also, so if
I'm a
anybody
big deal.
has an
I'm a
idea,
big deal. I ain't trying to hear that.
if anybody has an idea, if anybody currently has a business, a product, a service, information, a talent, I'm talking to. For folks that don't know, me and Shola are both artists too. So Shola is a visual artist. He just joined the and
No, you're not.
yes,
No, you're not.
yes I
You're
am.
not. You.
Uh,
No, I'm hanging up. Oh, no.
and
No,
so
no, no, no,
he
no. You got me
declined it, y'all.
working.
He been janky, but so both of us are artists. He's a visual artist. I am a performing and literary artist. So I traveled the world as a musical theater artist, and then I also have been a title holding spoken word and slam poet. So honestly, I would like core passion, I would say, is really that, and all the other stuff just allows for us to leverage and the flexibility and freedom to just like deep dive into just being an artist and not starve. So, um,
You know, everybody's goal should be to do what you really want to do in life. Nobody really knows what they want to do. You know, I'm blessed to love art. I'm blessed to be good at art. That is what I really want to do. So, I, everything I work for, and you know, it's so I can have that time, so I can have that luxury, that freedom to do what I love, or you know, to be around the people that I love. So, I mean, that should be your goal, man. Because at the end of the day, whatever you're doing, if it's not what you love, you know, you're not going to be your best. If you don't know what you love, get this bag, and that way you can figure out the time that you can take the time that it takes to figure out what you love. Get this passive income, create many multiple streams of passive income so you can do what you love.
I'm telling you,
That's my goal.
it's friend. It's definitely friend. I definitely pull disappearing acts frequently without wondering how I'm going to sustain a damn thing. Um, Personally, I thrive in isolation, and sometimes that's from everything. Um, that has the capacity to engage with me. So yeah. If anybody isn't here, I see it's people in our lives and all of them. So y'all definitely here.
So,
Y'all definitely listening. So I want to make
man,
sure we can magnify this. Hold on, we got another one. You should be able to see it if you're still on Facebook. Show it said I recently started a college prep
no, no,
business.
I got off. I
Oh,
got
it
off.
says I recently started a college
What's the
prep
question?
business and I'm really trying to find a way to monetize the business because I do not charge families for my service. Do you have any suggestions for me? So if it's a nonprofit, always allow for people to contribute. I think when people don't want to monetize because they genuinely just want to have impact, they they um they almost don't want to even give a open leave a door open for people to be able to give freely, right? They almost equate being able to take donations or offerings or whatever as like begging or as like coming off like trying to be conniving. But I think it's super important to do that. But also
Well,
you can monetize experiences, certain parts of the experience. There can always be the fundamental things that everybody has access to, and then there can be the things for like people to buy up to. Prime example for that I'm gonna give, granted the buy black market isn't like free for vendors, but a prime example of it for me was we wanted to give people as many opportunities as possible, but we were really taking L's at the expense at the expense of ourselves to help everybody. So we started doing little things where it's like, all right, if you genuinely value this, you'll upgrade to it. If you don't, you don't have to. It's optional. These are optional upgrades, like the additional shirts or the additional chairs or the ability to access early, right? Stuff like that. It's not mandatory, but there are little ways that allow for people to have a more kind of in your face experience, and people value that. People like exclusivity. Why the hell you think they trying to get a rocket to the damn moon so bad, and they're charging like half a million to a million just for you to take that flight? Like, and they have a wait list of people trying to take a leisure trip to the moon. Like, there for everybody who genuinely just needs access to the information, there's somebody that don't need access, but they but they'll take advantage of it because it's there as a resource. But if you have a way to make them feel even more special, or like the example Shola gave earlier, in case you weren't here, about the ability to take the tour in Cali just to find the best places to take pictures. Sometimes people just want to capture experience. It ain't even about the experience. Sometimes just being able to capture experience that everybody can't live out without being able to
right.
afford it
And
or
just
without. So yeah, what
just
would
to
you
be a
say?
little more specific with the college prep person, I'm gonna give you some tips. I think you cannot be scared to charge. You first of all, the first thing you need to do is identify your demographic, identify who your people are. Now, if you're catering to black people and you feel like you don't want to charge black people, you gotta understand the people that are going to college. They're not gonna mind paying for it. The parents that are sending their kids to college are either um, if barring the scholarship process, are either middle class, upper middle class, or wealthy black people. So I don't care if it's $50 a session or $25 a session. Somebody's gonna pay it, especially if they can see the results in their child. So don't think just because you're oh my gosh, I'm helping some black people get to the top. No, you can monetize that. Just find the demographic that you're catering to. And if if you're good at tutoring or whatever the college prep process consists of, monetize it for white people. Like I got a food truck coming, and I know when I'm in certain areas, guess what? These prices are going up by $2, $3. You know what I'm saying? Guess when I'm in a certain area, yeah, these prices are dropping. When I'm serving my people, these prices are dropping. You know, when I'm in the hood, when the food trucks in the hood, yeah, best believe I don't care. Come eat. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm in the white neighborhoods, yeah, awesome. You know, so you can do that. You know,
Facts.
it's not always about charging your people. I can charge other people.
And you can
Yeah,
always
it's free
oh
for
sorry.
you, but it costs for the white people. You know what I'm saying?
So another way to play off that, I would say target market, but
Yeah.
you're gonna have to know your target demographic too. But you can target market, and you can do it two different ways. Oh, Shola, you're missing out on Cam. Cam is our dude from Virginia. Y'all gonna vibe so hard if Cam comes down in August. Um, you can target market. So what we did for the Bad Black market, I don't know if anybody actually paid attention to the advertisements, but there wasn't a single white person on our advertisement. Meanwhile, there are people who advertise, and the white people be on there like it's right. This is racist, blah blah blah, and the black people are on there trying to defend what the advertisement is saying to the white people, just trying to make it seem like it's a problem to be about something just black centered, right? Our stuff doesn't go through that because we really know how to target market like very very strategically. Like it's either black people that's seeking attention, and even them, they don't comment nothing negative. They might just do like the laughing emoji or something like that as a reaction. But we reach all black people with every single advertisement, right? Because we know how to target market very, very strategically. And you can do the same thing for any demographic under the sun. It is not just a black thing. Black people aren't the only ones that have predictable characteristics. Everybody do. And so
And
in that,
it's not even even if it is a black thing. Understand, black people are not monolithic. We're not monolithic, so it's just not all black people just get just this amount of money. I know millionaires.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I got friends that make six figures, and I got friends that do something strange for $40. You know what I'm saying? Everybody different, you know. So do not, even if black people are your demographic, understand classes. Break it down. And that's when you enter the space of classes. You know, like I'm gonna cater to the upper middle class. You know what I'm saying? So black people not broke, and we have the highest spending. You know, value. So don't be scared. Don't think, oh man, black people are broke. No, no.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be scared to charge if it's beneficial. For us, we try to keep it
Especially when you got
affordable.
results. When you have proven results, like let's say you had your students are scoring um, 1200 and better on the SAT. You can you you have concrete evidence of your work. You know what I'm saying? So definitely never be scared.
Yeah, the
Never be
analytics
scared.
is, I will reinforce the analytics aspect of it. Like, get the feedback, get the follow up, always follow up. People are so focused on the instant gratification, especially if you're going to monetize. Make sure you do the follow up to have the info to back up whatever it is you're doing. So it makes it easier. Because honestly, even outside of monetizing customers, you can monetize organizations to utilize you as their go-to resource. It's a lot of ways that you can tap into money without you having to tell somebody they need to be able to afford you. I promise you, it's so much money. And the way they budget in big organizations and programs and PTAs and corporate contracts and corporations trying to
Exactly.
pretend like they give it out, it's like their money long. It's a different type of long money.
It's all
Like,
right. She went to
like,
college, bro, baby. She could start contacting people on the school board and, hey, who do I need to talk to get into these schools, to get contracts for these schools? It's just so
or you
easy
can
for
work the back
everybody.
way, right? So they got a black PTA. There's black PTAs are rolling out in every in every school district with the PTA in schools, right? If you're in a school like ours, my daughter goes to a class of school. You got to be a homeowner to go to her school. You can't be a renter. There's only one apartment complex that's even within the vicinity of her school, and ain't nobody made it off the lottery in years. So it's like her PTA to when the school shutdown happened, we had like 60,000 sitting on the books with nothing to do with it, and they were fundraising while we were homeschooled. What the hell are you fundraising for? The PTA ain't funding nothing. So it's like stuff like that. I started pulling a portion of the PTA's budget for the Black PTA, and we were like paying artists, we were paying different people to do activities catered towards our community with it. For the it sometimes benefited the whole school, but trust and believe, it's money out here and people are willing to spend it where they reap the benefits. And education, or the testing to further education, is definitely one of those areas. Trust and believe, we already in the process of working in the public school system. Awesome. Yeah, I would start with magnet schools. Start with schools that have a process to get into them, even if they fall under public school system, because those are going to be the easiest ones to get the funding to back up what you're doing, instead of just asking you to give a law, like do it out of passion. What's another one? This person says,
And also, I think the girl said that she's in a public school system. Um, go to the private school system.
yeah,
You know the people they definitely got the money.
yeah.
So you just gotta get creative with it. You got definitely gotta get creative with it.
Oh man. Hey Thomas. So yeah, that was another thing. Like a lot of people pulled their kids out of public schools and put them in private schools when the public schools decided to go virtual. They didn't want to be inconvenienced by their kids being home. So they just started paying for their education. So it's definitely money there, and it's a lot. It's a lot of it. Um and so the
Yeah,
next
and
person asks,
also tap into the ones who homeschool their kids.
that one
Tap into home.
too. Ooh, it's a lot of groups on that,
Yeah,
especially
it's like
down here. The
just with
homeschooling
the homeschool,
community.
like even if you got a van, you can, well, homeschool people is just not, oh, you you're teaching kids at home. You have to follow a syllabus as well. Your kids do have to take tests as well to prove they're learning. I believe, I'm not sure in all the school systems, but I know in the DMV area, um, you can get a van and just tell parents, look, man, I'm gonna take the kids on field trips, so I'm gonna teach them this particular, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, whatever. It's like it's a whole new world. It's tons of ways to monetize things.
I agree with that too. All right, let's hop to this next one because somebody else just posted one. In the process of this one, she said, "I'm a seamstress and rug artist here." So Renita, what's
You're
your
what?
question? She said she's a seamstress and rug artist.
And the rug
Renita, are you
artist.
finalized as a vendor for our event?
Who, me?
No, she's in Facebook's live with you. She commented right before you got back on it. She said same.
She's hooked. I'm sorry to cut you off. I was trying to get my mind working. You said she's a seamstress and a rug artist.
Yeah, I think she makes
What exactly is a
custom.
rug
I
artist?
think she makes custom rugs. Did I ever show you some of the ones that my
Okay.
sister made, where it was like Pokemon and stuff like that? Oh, okay. So her company's
Okay.
name is
How
Believe It or
how how,
Not.
how, how I will focus on the seamstress aspect. That's what I'm trying to focus on. How fast can she make a dress?
Renita, how fast can you make a dress? You're still in Facebook's live, right?
Am I? Yeah, I am.
Okay, she just posted a comment. She said, "I'm the one doing the bonnets and rugs." Oh, I didn't know you were a seamstress too. Somebody's actually looking for
Uh-uh.
you. So post it. Hold on for a second before we hop into the advice. Post a comment in the event page, and I'm gonna approve this lady's post because she's looking for a seamstress. I didn't know we knew one, so I didn't approve the post, but it's pending. I'm gonna approve that post tonight. Post about what you do on the Facebook event page we have for the August by Black Market, because she's in there. She's looking
To
for a seamstress. Okay, go ahead,
to be
Shola.
to be quite honest with her, I will focus on that seamstress. I'm not really sure the rug aspect, but just being a seamstress alone, man, it's just you should be running it up, especially if you're efficient. Man, it's just I can give you at least five markets that you know target that you could target. You could target prom kids. You know these girls, man, they'll design their own dressing. They
You
just
don't
need
have to,
somebody to
Cam.
make it.
I see you.
Huh? What you say, man?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was answering somebody on Instagram.
Yeah, I would focus on like prom dresses. I would focus on like West African people because one thing about the West African culture, those those African print outfits you see, they need seamstresses to make that. They buy the fabric and then they have to find a seamstress
Yep.
to make those custom outfits. And if you don't know about one thing about West Africans. Like, if you've never been to a Nigerian wedding,
That's money.
you don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
money.
money, especially when you have to make outfits for the whole bridal party or the whole groom party. Those outfits are custom made. I
And
can't tell
it's
you how
typically
much
multiple
money.
for the event.
Right,
Like Nigerians don't
I would.
just do the wedding outfit; they got the like the multiple reception outfits we rock too. So it's like
Those are all custom, and seamstresses just alone are a big deal in that community, in that demographic of people, West Africans, because our clothes custom made. You know, we buy the fabric, but you still gotta get the clothes tailored.
she
So
says she
when you see,
specializes in African prints too. She just did
see,
a bridal party 3 weeks ago. I'm gonna tell you another thing that's a game changer. Affiliating with some suit companies like not custom suits, not custom tailors or anything, but actual, big and talls and just the places that sell a lot of generic suits, because a lot of times people aren't knowledgeable in how to actually get that custom fit going. That becomes a super invaluable thing as well. But the prom, he's on it. My high school, one of my high school classmates, he's a fashion designer. And y'all have seen some of his work. He's done stuff for Cisco, Jill Scott, a number of other people, but he make a killing during prom. At this point, prom dresses looking like wedding dresses. Like it's insane. He
right.
make a killing. Like he easily taken cut multiple trips to Dubai off of one outfit he's doing for prom.
I,
You know,
I would definitely focus on that aspect,
but the
especially once you
rugs is
know
a game
kids.
changer, Shola. I'll tell you that. Like
I'm not very informative. She would have to tell me more what she knows with the
I'll
drugs.
show
I
you
mean, with the
something. I
rugs
know
and
more about that.
the
So
zip wrap.
the rug thing
Yeah,
could be a good look too. Not only is a great branding scheme, so you can easily tap into businesses that just really want to customize from the entry all the way through. But also people are starting to use rugs as like backdrops, like photo backdrops, stuff like that, just because they
oh, I
have.
mean, if it's me, I got a couple of
She
backdrops,
said
but
she
I mean,
charged 150. I mean 450 for one rug, Shola. Yeah, my
four
sister was doing
fifty.
them for a while. She got tired. She just stopped. But it's definitely, she said she charged 450 for one rug.
Hmm. If I
Yeah.
need new girls on my place, I might holler.
He said so Shola just bought a triplex. And so
No, for
for
quadplex.
quadplex, my
Get it
apology.
right.
Oh, excuse me, one extra. Shola just bought a new quadplex and Be More.
Oh, that's
It's
another. That's another thing for the real estate agents to focus on. So anybody who's a real estate agent,
property
focus
management.
on first time home buyers. I will focus on people who want to be intentional about building generational wealth. So basically, what I did was house hack. I used my FHA loan to buy a multiplex. So now um, you could get up to 4 units. So now I think my mortgage is around $2,000,
Come to
but
YouTube, everybody that's on Instagram, get off Instagram and come to YouTube if Facebook is giving you any issues because Instagram about to die.
yeah, I'll make
Or come to Clubhouse.
a couple videos about monetizing things. But if you want to be intentional about building generational wealth, I bought a quadplex, and so basically you can use your FHA loan. You have to have a minimum of 580 credit score, and you put 3.5% down or whatever whatever they give you, whatever your loan amount is. And so I bought a 4 unit apartment building. And so basically, once I rent it out, um, I'm gonna take two. I think I'm gonna be at the $4,500 range as far as my rental income is concerned. So my mortgage is only like $2,000 on that particular building. Um, so I'm walking away with like $2,500. So basically, I gave myself a $30,000 raise a year, just being intentional
Yep.
about home ownership. And I don't have to do much. It's not like, oh, I gotta be that landlord that I don't have to do that. Basically, everything is operated through an app. Also, another great business that you can do for those who want to stop punching the clock. You can be a property management um, company. Basically, my baby mother, my child's mother, she has a property management company, and it's all based on the app. everything she do is the app. She could property manage from anywhere in the world. So she send the leases through the app. She also collects the money through the app. If something goes wrong, if somebody's toilet breaks, she just sends the local plumber. She finds a local plumber, and she gives the people the option of paint it themselves, and we just prorate it on the rent, or actually paying it out of pocket. But it's very easy. Um, she charges about 10% of the rental income of your total rental income
Yep.
to do it. So that's another great business that you can do working from home, where you don't have to punch about your property management, and you don't have to know anything, just how to use that app.
Yep.
You don't even have to meet the people.
Yep. I
And
mean,
I'm gonna just say this before I go. I'm gonna say this before I go. As far as monetizing it, I guess everybody's looking for that way out. Um, and the thing about it is, this it's a generation gap. And I think I was just telling you this probably a couple conversations ago. You can't be scared to pull that trigger. We literally live in the information age. Whatever you want to know, you can easily learn. Like fucking in the '70s, somebody was selling pet rocks and people was buying it. You can monetize some shit. You just can't be scared. A lot of us tend to be scared. A lot of us tend to like the comfort of a steady weekly check. But you can you there's plenty of things you can do. You can to monetize yourself. You can find that niche where you can work from home or don't have to have that boss. It's just a fear factor, and I guarantee you that's probably what's holding a lot of you guys back. But you know, doing what you really want to do, you can't be scared of it. I mean, me personally, my situation is different. I was a felon. I came home probably like 4 or 5 years ago, and these people want me want to be able to track me, but you just can't be scared to pull that trigger, man. There's just so many different ways, man. I just gave y'all like 3, 4 different things you can do to monetize yourself, where you can make extreme amounts of money. For those of you on, I mean, got access to your phone, just look up loan signing agents. If you want another job right now that's gonna give you at least $2,000 a week or better, loan signing agent. The money that you pay to become a loan signing agent is very minimal. Like in the DMV, no, in Maryland, I think it's only $11 to become a notary agent. You don't have to take any classes or nothing. If you do it right now before October, you don't have to pay. You don't have to take any classes. It's all through online. Um, you just go to the link, pay $11, and you're a notary agent. If it's like that in Maryland, I'm pretty sure it's like that in a lot of other places. Do that. Become
yeah.
a loan signing agent. That way you can make the money that you need to make.
It's man, look, it's so many ways to skin a cat when it come to just listen. When it come to just elevating, like I'm telling y'all, it's so many ways. It's disheartening to see
And
people still struggling.
I think it's also a generational thing as well, because one thing I tend to notice is the younger generation, they're not scared. The younger generation that's coming up, they're gonna figure some shit out. This young generation, I'm telling you, they're gonna figure some shit out. So if you're older, I'm gonna say like 40 plus. I know a lot of you guys are scared to leave that whole cubicle or 9 to 5 arena. A lot of we're conditioned to work. You know, so you just can't be scared, man. You just definitely gotta pull that trigger.
Yeah. But I'm gonna before he just says that, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell y'all what I came to understanding a while ago, and after some like deep meditation and stuff, was it's the doubt thing. And I
Yeah,
think I think I need to say it out loud because a lot of people don't even have anybody to speak it into the. But it's the doubt, like our biggest battle, everybody's big battle. I don't give a damn how cocky you is. It's the doubt thing. Like we mentally live out episodes or movies of Final Destinations daily. We literally play out how many ways something can go wrong, how many ways we can mess up, how many ways um this could really just go south, whether it's in a really significant way or it's in a very minute way. Like, and a lot of people are, they're succumb to the fear of those possible outcomes more than they are the security of somebody else making the decisions, or somebody else being in control of the worst case scenario situation. And so I think it is super important to go into it to get through it, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is, like, let that whole thing play out in your head and look at where you are now. And especially if it's you're in your like worst case scenario, look at where you are now and be like, well, goddamn, how much worse could I get from here other than death? And if death is not the possible worst case scenario of whatever is playing out, like, bruh, like, be afraid through it. Seriously, be afraid through whatever the hell it is you're executing on. And I promise you, on the other side, you're gonna be like, damn, man, that was almost the thing that would have kept me from it all. I can't believe it. And then you start to, and as you start to be intentional about being afraid and doing it anyway, you start to exist in different spaces where it's just like, all right, now I'm seeing what happens when I just do it despite the fear. Like, and it changes everything. It truly changes everything. It gets to you. Like, you probably you be a little bit more high alert and stuff, but it transforms. And I don't want to say it changes everything, but it transforms everything in the best ways possible. And I stand on that 100%. Half the stuff I executed on, I was homeless. I was living out of my car with a 18-month baby while going through custody battles, domestic battles, and everything else in the court system with no family, no nothing around. And I am 100% happy with who I am, where I am now, and everything I executed on, despite it not feeling like I should have when I did. You know, so so I
Just to piggyback off of that, man, execution is that's key, man. Look, I'm a felon, yeah. I ain't supposed to. I'm definitely not supposed to be here, so yeah, I'm a felon. I don't even think people understand what that means or how many hiccups I done had along the way. But I'm a felon. Yeah.
most
I still
definitely.
had jailhouse nightmares. But guess what? I got three properties. I got my own bus. So, I'm intentional about building generational wealth. So, you don't be scared, man. There's people out here really doing it.
And Shola, talk about that for a quick second. I don't want to tell your story, and that's why I typically don't mention it. But the fact that you're finally here for a second, I'm gonna make you tell your story, because Shola was my humbling moment. Um, yes, he acknowledged that he's a felon, but not only is he a felon, Shola, he lived most of his young adult years in jail, in prison. Like, the years where you supposed to be developing, growing, figuring out what the hell you doing with this adult thing, like, he was incarcerated, and he came back to a different version of reality. He left with my
Yeah,
face
I'm
was
I'm still I'm still acclimating. I'm literally I be when I discover something, I'm like, oh wow, oh my gosh, I did not know this. You know, I'm still acclimating, like
but within how
you know,
long? So if you're on Instagram, I suggest you get on Facebook or YouTube, because it's about to crash. The link is in our bio to both. And my squad ain't here to plug in a charger. So sorry. But we are still on Facebook and YouTube and Clubhouse in the event you just want to chime in audio wise but don't want to be seen. Um and so yeah, Shola, tell okay, so Shola did 10 years in prison. Tell them what that process was like once you got out.
well, I got like 15 minutes. And I got head to Philadelphia. So I'm gonna be quick. I mean, I've always, I've always just, I'm Nigerian. Nigerians we tend to have chips on our shoulders. Um, but I don't know how to put it. I just never put myself in a box. I feel like there's nothing I can do besides being the president of the United States. And that's because I got a felon. But myself through CDL school, then put myself through real estate school, and then use my credit to utilize this and buy this, and you know what I'm saying, move this way and that way. And I'm not gonna say it was easy because sometimes I could see the power of money without education. Like man, I had $100,000 in credit cards, and I didn't have all the knowledge that I possess now. You know, I just learned credit and utilized it to get this 100,000, 90,000 to be exact. But I mean, just growing more and learning more. You know, is I've used that money for the betterment, but I'm just intentional. I'm intentional about how I move. I'm intentional executing. I'm intentional on just reading and learning and you know digesting the right things, the right information. You know, I don't. It's lots of things I don't do that regular people, like regular people do. I'm not on social media to show pictures or flash what I got. I'm on here to learn from people, from different people, to reach out to the people that I need to reach out to, or see what I need to see. So I'm always evolving. My mind's always evolving, man. And it could be done, man. That's all I can tell y'all. It could be done. I couldn't imagine if I didn't have a felony. If I didn't have a felony, what I can do, And I don't know how to put it. You just gotta have it in you, man. Not everybody have it in them. I just got a raise in my job, and it's like, God damn, I'm a felon. Yeah, I think what they gave me, like, they gave me 85,000. I'm about to quit though, but you just gotta be intentional on how you move.
Yeah.
You gotta be
So
intentional.
so he's literally about to drive. So what he does is he has a CDL, so he drives buses on top of all the stuff we do.
Yeah, today. I mean, I officially stopped driving. We were just understaffed today, and I couldn't cancel this, so I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself." But yeah, I'm corporate now. I'm a corporate person,
so so yeah, I'm really excited.
and
Um
I fucking hate driving, guys. Like I fucking hate it. I can't stand driving.
Everybody,
You
all
know
of
what I'm saying?
us.
But I do it for a living. I mean, sometimes you gotta do the shit that you don't like for a living. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I
But
done gave
even
y'all
that,
three great ways
even
to
even
make some
even you
money.
getting into the buses was a leverager. It put us onto some things that we got in the
Oh
works
man,
even in
don't.
that industry. Like for us, there's nothing we ever did where it added more value to a company or a corporation than it did to us that we didn't strategize how to utilize to build independently from.
All
So
right, Rama, I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go, man. I'm headed to Philadelphia. I probably mess around, call you. I probably call you like 3, 4 in the morning in the U.S.
of course, be careful. Love you. Get off my
Love you
clubhouse.
too, man.
Um, okay, so he is out. I'm in. I know y'all like hearing from him more than me. It's fine. I didn't take it personal. Um, so there was a question asked in YouTube, and I'm gonna answer that question. And if y'all have any more questions, by all means, toss them in the chat or just request to join the live or even go to the clubhouse room. I think Shola's going to stay in the clubhouse room. He's just going to be listening in an effort for him not to get in trouble. But on YouTube, it's Miss Mastic. Miss Mastic asked, any suggestions for cupcake, bath bombs, and bubble cakes. So I'm just gonna explain what that is for people who have not seen our reel where I was showing off the Oreo cupcake that was not a cupcake, it was a bubble bath. It was actually a bubble bath bomb. I mean a bath bomb. And so she makes these very intricate, almost like replicas of cupcakes that are actually bath bombs. And then she also makes the cakes, the layered cakes that y'all see that be looking real bomb with the like fillings and stuff in between the layers and stuff like that. And she even makes those as big bubble baths that you can cut a slice, put it in your bubble into your bath, and it'll turn into bubbles. So it's like really amazing, right? And so one of the things I'm going to share with y'all, because y'all were not there for the conversation, we actually had like a 2 to 3 hour long conversation yesterday while out at Black Farmers Market, and so we just gonna catch y'all up a little bit. So, um, it's hot, right? It's hot, and a lot of people are doing outside events. We attended three, three outdoor and one half and half event just this weekend alone for small black businesses. Okay. And so one of the number one things that happens in those environments is they're not conducive for people to be able to have like food, right? Food is a guaranteed seller at a pop-up shop, anything like that. But it's not really conducive for people who are bakeries and stuff like that, or even sell chocolates and things like that to be outside because it's gonna melt. It's gonna melt. Even candles actually take a big hit in those environments, right? The last event we went to, like the tops of almost all the candles that were out for display were ruined because the heat actually started to melt the candle. And so she possessed a talent that's so intricate and so unique that I'm just like, you can monetize being the resource, the display resource for these people products, right? Like she could literally make the replicas for a person's decorative cakes or cupcakes. She can literally make display pieces to allow for you as the customer to see what it looks like, possibly smell what it would smell like without you actually coming in contact with the right thing. So it eradicates germ concerns. It allows for sustainability of the actual display without the melting of like actual real icings and stuff like that. It allows for you to get as intricate and allows for you to also cross promote because while she can do this thing where it's a display for you, people are going to be like, oh, can I have this one? You're going to be like, no, that's actually a bubble bath cake, right? And then it has the ability for her to just brand it on the back with her thing like this was designed by. So now it allows for her to grow affiliations with other groups that have nothing to do with who they thought it was. But also, I don't think I said this to you, so I'm gonna tell you another way to monetize it connected to real estate. So staging companies are a big staging houses prior to selling them are a really huge thing in the real estate market. Why? Because it allows for it to sell like 80 or 90% faster. A staged home sells way faster than an empty house, right? And so as a part of staging, they really want to create the appearance that somebody lives there, and you allow for you to see yourself in the environment, allow for you to see all these little things. And so one of the things that they even do for staging homes for open house and stuff like that is have like homemade stuff. Like it might be some cookies, it may be some cupcakes, it may be like a candle burning that gives off that smell with like something sitting out there for display purposes. Understand, if you can make some cupcakes and stuff that look like the real thing, that is textured and everything like the real thing, but is not the real thing, people will buy those different things in bulks just to utilize as staging props, and that'll allow for you to bulk sell a variety all over the world. And it's tons and tons of interior designers, it's tons and tons of staging companies, right, that pull in and out different things or that may evolve with time, or even display pieces for events and stuff like that. So it's a lot of ways to monetize without you having to deal with a direct to consumer method. There are a lot of ways to monetize with you just dealing with corporations or contracts or being on retainer. Like that retainer, I'm gonna tell y'all the best money is the money that's given to you just to be available to a person. That retainer money, that's different. That's a different ballpark where you can live your life and they just need you to be available. And I don't, that's, it's being on retainer is not the same thing as being on call. So understand the difference. Being a retainer is like, if you need this done, we can create a turnaround time, but I'll be available to meet these needs for you. Yada yada yada. Being on call is it don't matter what damn time I pick up the phone. You better be on the receiving end of it and ready to execute on whatever I require of you. Being a retainer is I'm paying you this money just to be able or be available to me if I have a booking 6 months out, or if I have booking in the busy season, or if I have a this come up in the middle of this and we need help, or we need this replaced or whatever. Like that retainer money, that's a different industry. I mean, that's a different vibe, and that's another level of freedom that most people don't even realize the benefits of reaping. So yeah, it's just when you got talent, honestly, the easiest thing to monetize is talent. It really is. The easiest thing to monetize is talent, even outside of stuff, because stuff, it can go through trends. It can it can go in or out of style. It can take hiatuses, but talent, it's like talent can transcend time and space, and it can transform and evolve with life and just experiences and growth. So it's definitely tons of way. Miss Mastic specifically, like her stuff is just, I'm so in awe about what she does, because I've never been coming up. I'm not gonna say I've never been coming up. I wasn't really, science wasn't one of my strengths. Math was a strength. Writing and reading was a strength. So to have somebody have the ability to make something, to be so talented using something that we all learned about, but not many people understood how to incorporate it into life in a way that people could appreciate it and understand the value of it, is just, it's mind blowing to me, you know. So I give her roses. But yeah, so if you have a talent, if you have a product, a service, if you provide resources, information, even if you just have an idea, it might be a working idea, it might be something you're still just kind of bouncing around in your head, feel free to share it. I'm gonna tell you a way to monetize it now, right now. If you've been in this whole live, then y'all have definitely walked away with a lot of value. Shola, the the partner that y'all almost never see, or I mean, the partner that most of y'all probably never heard from or saw prior to tonight, he was in here for like an hour with us, just dropping gems. So now I'm gonna do my little part to carry the slack, uh, before I get back to work. Um, Hey, Sherry from S&A Boutiques. I'm trying to think of ways to expand my journal business. I'm open to teaching others how to create journals. Okay, so Sherry, I think that's so dope. We had somebody in one of our lives a couple of um weeks ago, maybe give or take a couple of weeks ago, where she created a journal, but she created the concept of a journal, but it wasn't truly a like actual personalized product. Being a Depending on how deep you are in it, because I've seen your journals, they're like legit thorough journals, and that's something where it's like publishing is one of those things where a lot of people don't really have the resources to do it at a level for mass distribution, um, or white labeling it. Like, do you have the ability to white label it? Because there are a lot of people that have their own ideas and concepts for journals, but they don't actually possess the resources to execute it at the level where they can monetize it effectively. So do you have the ability to white label it? Because I think that could be a game changer for you. Also, do you have the ability to mass produce it? Like, if there's a publishing company that's looking for somebody to, one of the things I'm working on is actually a book. It's been in the work for like 2 years, y'all. So please don't ask me when it's coming out. It's gonna come out on a wedding anniversary. Finding ways to do that as a collaborative affiliation with programs like organizations, self-help programs. Somebody who may have developmental or writing workshops could easily be a way to monetize it as well. Being able to white label thing, that white label thing alone, and what white labeling is for anybody that's like, what is white label? White labeling is just you having the ability to produce a product that anybody whatever they want on the front or the back cover or on the outside to make it their own brand. So a company might want it, an organization might want it, initiatives, programs, activities, events may want them, but they want them to possibly have something very specific on it, right? Me coming up in the performing arts, easy ways for you to be able to mass, take on mass orders of distribution when it comes to journals specifically is like BNV, Brave New Voices, right? It's the teen spoken word competition where people come from all over the world to participate. um Any of them, quite honestly, any of the poetry slams, any of the writing workshops, all of those are going to be easy things. Any self-help programs, any people that are trying to kind of get you comfortable with manifestation and stuff like that are going to be an easy point of contact as well, because they want you to have some tangible, hell, even people that do instructional stuff just want to you. I got right now, watch this, like I keep journals on me, like of all sizes, right? So if you have the ability to white label, but also meet the needs based on the demands of the demographic, that's the easy way to monetize. The white label is probably going to be the easiest game changer because it allows for people to walk around with messages that reinforce what they genuinely believe in or what they want you to automatically associate this with. Like I don't really like blank ones, but it takes a lot to find ones that align with what their the purpose is. So I got a lot of blank ones and I put different pins in the holders so I can identify which ones are which, right? So if you have the ability to white label it, there are a lot of people that just have products but don't have the infrastructure to make the quality of journal that you make. So that could be an easy one right there. It's and you can easily just have a line, a tagline in the very back or the very front of it that identifies you as the supplier. Like Hallmark cards, like Hallmark don't really make stuff. Like other people make it. Hallmark just a brand, just getting credit for it. Same thing. White labeling ends up being beneficial that way and allows to so that explains the extra like half or so anybody else, do you have a talent? Do you have a skill? Do you have something that you already do in business that you'll like to figure out alternative monetizing? Because it's not always about creating something new, like reinventing the wheel. Sometimes it's just about um finding has six or seven streams of income. Facts of the matter is it's not always seven different things. Sometimes it's like they're monetizing one thing multiple ways, right? And then they got some other passive ones. For us, let's see. At this point, real estate is one for us. Stocks and cryptocurrency, which I'm going to just lump in as another one. Alternative vending machines are one. The alternative retail vending machines are one. Okay, so that's three. And then we do consults, we do courses, we do staffing. We have a staffing agency. Um, and we do staffing for customer service, we do staffing for event and experimental marketing, and then we also do the consults extend to a lot of stuff, but it also it extends to the event, the marketing and and business strategizing for the corporate client. So a lot of the stuff overlaps, right? The staffing is typically tapped into for our corporate clients. The event and experimental marketing is tapped into for our corporate clients. Like a lot of them overlap and they end up being utilized simultaneously for multiple things. And then we're able to just do it differently. So we do these things for our corporate clients, and now we do the Buy Black market for our small Black business community to get the same opportunities as our corporate client. It doesn't always require going far left field or developing whole new um, sets of concepts. Cam, I was just in a consult earlier that I was like, oh man, it would have been so dope to be in it with Cam and her simultaneously. Because I'm telling y'all, yeah, we got to make that happen. Because we're definitely about to block off for the next 2 weeks as of Monday. I mean, as of Sunday, which is our me and Thomas anniversary, to just deep dive into preparing for the Buy Black market. So this week is going to be the last week before we go incognito for 2 weeks to just get all the little moving pieces coordinated in time for the event. So yeah, if anybody has an idea, if you have a talent, if you have a business, a product, a service, a skill set, um, even if you just are still kind of throwing around something that you've kind of been, it's just been kind of, you've been letting it simmer, feel free to post it in the comments or request to join the live on Facebook, or join the raise your hand to get the mic tossed on Clubhouse, and we can talk it out. I'm gonna give you a concrete way that you can execute to monetize whatever it is you have in mind now, right now. Start seeing reaping the benefits of it as soon as you start to execute on it. For us, we give you information, but if you don't execute, it's it's just a high quality thought that you've now been provided. So, yeah, if y'all have anything, by all means, share it. If not, we're gonna be wrapping this up. This has been an amazing 90 minutes, and I will definitely be saving this one. I'll probably actually not just save it. I'll probably be dismantling it to make it into other clips as well. I'm looking at a Oh, that is a good one. So the house we rented, wow, that's definitely a good look. Especially depending on your proximity to medical medical supplies and stuff like that. um that's definitely a good look. I know when we did the Spartan race in Charlotte, the house we rented to participate in that Spartan race, which our whole team did. Sam, Thomas, me, Shola, and my best friend Nardo even came up from Atlanta. Um, that house was owned by a traveling nurse. So if you're in proximity to places where they have high medical demands and they typically bring people in, um, that can be very lucrative. And you could possibly supplement it if you're in a area with a high traffic airport as well. You could easily supplement it even if you don't have any like traveling nurses or anything, and supplement it with airline and staff and things that may be forced to lay over and stuff in that area. It's proximity can be very very lucrative. So yeah, let's power on that. I think you can definitely execute on it quick. Anything with real estate right now, real estate is a hot market, um, and it is definitely a owner's market. Whether it's an empty slot of land or it's physical, tangible, a location. Really, it's definitely an owner's market. Understand, DOT had a lot of slots of land that they were selling off. All them things gone. Even even when they were just like little corners somewhere, they all just sold out of the blue, um, because you could leverage it. And in that situation, if you know how to leverage it, it was a game changer. I bought some land from DOT for 700, 750, something like that, worth 11. It was worth 9,000 when I initially got it under contract. Now it's easily worth twice that, you know, because of the real estate market. And so I don't need to sell it. I own it free and clear, so I can just I can literally just rent it at this point for pop up shops, right? Rent the land for people to be able to do outside pop up shops and refinance it for liquidity. So trust and believe. There, real estate can be leveraged a lot of ways right now if you're just creative, as well as the experience stuff. One of the things we intend to do with some of the land we just bought right over by Duke University is built allow for people to come and just be able to rent space in a garden to plant or do legally. Obviously, everything they'll be doing there will have to be legal because, but rent space in the garden to just start developing on those skill sets, right? So one of the things we're on the real estate side that we're working on right now is getting with a herbalist. Um, it's another name too. I'm not saying it right, and I really don't want to be disrespectful to somebody's profession, but people that like are specialists in gardening, um, get with them to be able to teach sessions and do ongoing sessions with people to be able to use the land to learn how to garden. And I'm doing that in honor of my mom who passed away. Um, so yeah, so yeah, it sounds like nobody has any questions. I haven't seen any new questions pop up. I haven't seen any new requests to join the live. So this has been amazing. I'm definitely going to save this live. I truly hope that everybody that has stayed with a botanist. Thank you, Renita. I was really over here struggling. It's a botanist to Just put that out there for anybody to know. Um, and remind myself, it's a botanist. That's the person who specializes in gardening things. So I hope you guys, if you came in this live at any point prior to the very beginning, I hope you take some time to just double back. The one on Instagram was saved very prematurely, probably like 30 minutes ago, just to avoid that phone dying before I could save it. But the one on Facebook and the one on YouTube are from beginning to end, full hour 40 minutes. I'm telling you, it's going to be 100 minutes to change your life and elevate your life and possibly motivate somebody in your life that needed that extra life spoken into them, that gentle guidance into some clarity or some decisiveness. So I hope even if you came in late, you take some time, you know, to just double back and listen to it through. You don't even have to watch it. We ain't done that fancy. You can literally just listen to it. And I promise you, is it's just gonna continue to add value to you. And as I'm able to pull in the whole team to engage, I'm gonna tell y'all transparently, none of us like social media. Nobody on our squad likes social media. We all hate it, um, myself included. But we realize representation matters, and it's super important to fill in a gap to make sure people could get from where we started to where we are without being manipulated, taken advantage of, or bled dry, right? And so I bite the bullet typically, but the team is slowly. Thomas did one live. Some the book series might be the best y'all can get out of her because she's an avid reader. And Shola, I try to get him what I can. So y'all left up. We had him for almost an hour tonight. That was a miracle. But look, it took over a year to even get him on one live. So um yeah, y'all just kind of, when you connect with us, you'll be able to grow from what we share publicly, but um the real growth with us comes from those real intimate personal engagements, face to face or over the phone. That's where we're able to add the most value, because that's where we're able to just be us without lights, camera, action, um, and without having to feed into all of the silent spectating. Like we really don't like just being watched. We like being able to coexist with like minds and sound energy that we're able to add value to, and exist purposelessly. I mean purposefully around. So yeah, I love you guys to life. I'm glad we were able to do this. I'm definitely gonna make sure to save this live because there's a lot of value in it. Make sure y'all share it, comment, like it, most importantly, share it. Like, add value to somebody. Don't be selfish with information. Don't be selfish with opportunities to grow and evolve. If you genuinely want to see a change happen, you got to be willing to bridge that gap for those closest to you. So share the information, put somebody on, help somebody else get to that same level. Especially the further they are from even being where you are, the more they need it. And I feel like Shola is that person that's able to meet. Our team is made up of people who meet completely different demographics, even within our own non-monolith Black community. Right? Shola meets a demographic where they don't care how it's said; they just care that somebody's willing to say it to them. I meet a demographic where we're like kind of in the middle, where it's like they're used to like the gutter, but they got a little bit of a vocabulary now, and they're receptive of that. And Thomas is he's able to meet he's very very personable in a way where everybody is receptive of what he says when he says it. Um, and so we meet different demographics, and then Psalm, she's adorable. So whoever's left, she pulls them in, right? And so it's a blessing to coexist with us, because we also build off each other in ways where we're strengthened by each other differences and diversification to that extent as well. So yeah, I love you guys to life. I'm over and I'm out. It's been a long night. I'm done. If y'all have any questions at any point, always feel free, comment them or DM us or call or email us. We accessible in every way. Have a good night.